planting few trees. Because, of course, because mines don't end in one lifetime. Sometimes 2 generations, sometimes 3 generations pass. So responsible enforcement of the ground is very, very important pillar of the sustainable development. Because we will continue to use energy. We can't live without coal. We can't live without oil and gas. We may commit 40% non-fossil fuel and all that. That's okay. But that's again in capacity terms. When it comes to realization, it comes to only 10 or 12% of that, maybe 15%. So extractive industry started with the human civilization. It helped the human civilization to develop, and will continue with the human civilization till the last person on the planet breathes his last. So we have to live with it, but at the same time, we have to be very responsible, not only to the society alone, but to the system, to the nature. One example I give is the forestry side, because Mr. Jha is here, I think this is the time to avail this opportunity. These forest clearance for the mining, it is a painful process. Of course, I'm away from this for the last nearly almost 20 years. You go to US and the abrasion field, mines are working, you pass by the roadside, you will not see the mine, because there the same plants are regrown and the new wood is used for buildings. Because in those areas in America they use all wooden houses. But we enforce, if the land is even there is no blade of grass, it's declared as forest land. Now restoration done elsewhere doesn't make sense. Of course, now I don't know what the position of law today, but when I was active, they say, all right, you plant somewhere, anywhere else, on degraded land, we are happy about it. But when you degrade area, the restoration has to be that place only. Now, Dr. Sayalee mentioned about the interaction. It's very important, not only of the educational institute, even of the research. We have about more than 50 research laboratories under CSIR. But the interface between research and industry, instead of getting closer, is getting far wider. What is Japan today? If any research lab picks up a new idea, the industry comes and jumps on it. They start endorsing it right on day one. Idea matures into a demonstration, then commercial scale, and they take it. And that is a very important point you made. So we have to really work together as a society. And again, I go back to the point which I mentioned. Everybody has to be involved. And today, unless we have more jobs created, of course, now I understand from different linkages, plan has been sort of recreated after about 50, 60, 70 years of even it was thought of. That may give some jobs. But we have to utilize the people whom you are paying, either under a charity or under a subsidy, but they have to be brought, and they can really restore these areas either by manual with machine helps and all that. And extractive industry, you have to live with it, friends. Whether you call it a good or bad, we cannot do without it. Because you cannot live without it, but we have to be, industry has to be responsible, government has to be supported and facilitated, and they have to work in tandem. Only then we can succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now our panel is open for a question and answer round. I would like the audience to kindly put up their questions. Sir.
I'm Dr. K.K. Upadhyay. I work in domain of CSR. In CSR, we generally tell that CSR starts whenever the compliance ends. And now we see like all the departments, they want CSR funds. So how do we draw this line between compliance and CSR funds, where people want more and more of CSR funds? Especially now all the ministries, all the directorates, they are looking for CSR funds. Or I think something which they are not able to do there. How do you react to that? Thanks, sir.
No, I will respond to this in the context of my ministry, which is the Ministry of Environment and Forest. You see, all projects which come for environmental clearance come with an environmental management plan which they submit as part of the EIA before the appraisal committee. Now, part of the process is also that you do public consultations, and there are a lot of demands which are made by the public when they agree for an industry to locate at a particular place. There could be demand of roads, there could be demand of drinking water, there could be demand of a school building, and so on and so forth. Now, apart from this, there is also a requirement that if you are going to damage the environment in a particular way, then you take certain mitigative steps when you set up your factory or your establishment there to mitigate the environmental damage that would be caused. Now, this cost, whatever is incurred by way of this cost, is not a part of the CSR under the company's law. So what we are saying is that this cost, which is notionally or sort of provisionally assessed at 2.5% of the total cost of the project, should be used for environmentally mitigative steps and the other demands which may arise during a public hearing. Now, please understand that it is very distinct from the CSR, where you may be constructing school buildings or toilets or various other things which are prescribed for the purposes of tax benefit and within that 2% of the profit formula which is provided in the companies. What other ministries are doing or making a demand, I am not in a position to comment frankly, but as far as Environment Ministry is concerned, you have to look at it separately. They are not one and the same thing. And please try and understand that this 2.5% could be lower also in some cases. It could be a little higher also in some cases, because these are all appraised and decided by the committee. This is purely for mitigation efforts and not the company's social responsibility. Sustainable responsibility and social responsibility is what you have to distinguish. Just one response. Mr. Sachdev raised this issue about forest. The rules are the same.
Sir, this is Manas. I have a quick question on economic win-win for tribal resettlement, where there are mines, but companies are not being able to mine that area. And of course, it's a sensitive question, but any such projects through CSR that can be done environmentally, which could be for a longer, larger vision of the state, which are poorer but mineral rich, and still cannot mine the places because of issues of tribal sitting on the plot of land. So, is there some things, studies that have been done nationally, internationally, that the government has looked into, where it can be good for the industry as well as for the people living?
No, resettlement plans are there for every project where some displacement takes place. An R&R plan is given, rehabilitation and resettlement plan is given. These are also factored into the EIA assessment which is done. Now, it can be large, it can be small depending on the area. For example, for river valley projects, there are large R&R packages which are there. And these are looked at very closely, and then the entire cost is borne by the project proponent or the state government, depending on who's making that project. Likewise, for, let us say, for major steel plants which have come up in some parts of central India, Odisha, Jharkhand and all that. there are large R&R plans, and they are built into the cost of the project itself, which is assessed, and the environmental appraisal committee also looks at the R&R packages and tries and sees how it relates to the issues that may have come up during the public consultation process. So there is a consultative mechanism, but it is inbuilt into the entire process of evaluation and assessment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite our dignitaries and all the other guests for lunch session outside, please. Thank you so much.